How's it going, guys? Today we're going to do something a little different. So, this is an introduction to the design process thinking. So, it's a 5-part process. That means there's going to be 5 parts to it. First part is understand the presented problem or assignment. If possible, ask why does it need to be solved. You need to basically empathize with the person asking you the question or giving you the assignment. This is the point where you try to understand why your teacher is having you do something. If this is a writing assignment, why are they having me do a writing assignment based on the book I read? Clearly articulate the problem you want to solve, be able to sum it up. So you need to be able to take the problem the teacher gave you or anywhere in life gave you, and you need to be able to clearly articulate why you need to come up with a problem or why you need to come up with a solution for that problem. Then you need to brainstorm possible solutions and develop the solution that you're going to do. Next is design a prototype or a rough draft to test all or part of your solution. So you need to take the ideas that you came up with for the assignment or the question that you've been granted with, and you need to do them or make them. Then you need to think of ways that your solution works at answering the problem, and think of ways it could be better. So in the art making process, we call this a critique. We make the artwork, then we go to a group of people, we talk about it. We say, do you like the way we did this? Do you not like the way we did this? Maybe you did a drawing and I really like the eyeballs, but I don't like the way you drew those lips. So we think of ways that that answer could be better. And then we go back to step 1. We say, does my drawing of a person look the way that it needs to express this? Etc., etc. First, empathize. That means come up with reasons that people are asking the questions or giving you this assignment. Then we need to clearly articulate the problem you want to solve. That's step 2. And that means basically we are able to sum it up very well. Third, we brainstorm potential solutions. We come up with different ideas that might be an answer to that problem we're given. Then we, number 4, come up with a rough draft. In art, this might take the form of a sketch. In your writing class, ELA, it might take the form of a rough draft. And then number 5 is iterate. That means we're going to take that rough draft and we are going to make it better, and we are going to switch it, and we are going to tweak it, and we are going to make it the best possible thing that we can possibly make. Example from everyday life. Your mom tells you to clean your room. First, you need to empathize and understand the problem. We start thinking about our room and we might say, it's fine for me, but maybe there have recently been a mouse or two around the house, and you tend to leave your dirty dishes after having a snack, eating your pizza rolls on your nightstand. Maybe your floor is a little dirty and it's tracking some dust and dirt in other parts of the house. Maybe your laundry is all over and your mom or whoever goes into your room is tripping over it. So you need to empathize. Think, why is she telling me to clean my room? And you think about, oh yeah, dirty dishes might be attracting mice. I might need to clean up the floor so it doesn't get the rest of the house dirty. I might need to put my laundry away so people aren't tripping over it, and we can cleanly get it back to where it needs to go, the laundry room. So then we define the problem. We say, I need to clean my room by doing A, B, and C. And then we come up with the idea, which I just jumped ahead and said A, B, and C are what we need to do. So dirty dishes on the nightstand. I need to put away dirty dishes. Dirty floor. I might need to vacuum. Laundry thrown all over. I might need to put my dirty laundry in the hamper. So we've done 2, define the problem. 3, come up with solutions to those problems. Number 4, this is where we clean the room. We clean the room up and we say, Mom, guess what? I cleaned my room. Number 5 is iterate. That's where she is going to give you a little bit of feedback. And she is maybe going to say, yeah, but that hallway is really dark. I want the door to be open so that the light from your room can shine in the hallway. And I really want you to make your bed because your bed is a mess and I don't want everybody to see your messy bed. And then we go back and we think, oh yeah, I'm empathizing. I'm coming up with an understanding of why you might need me to make my bed also. So we don't need to define the problem. She said directly now, you need to make your bed. So brainstorm a solution. We can make our bed. And then we say, okay, now we have a clean room. So we're at number 4 again. We've cleaned our room completely. We're back at number 4. We say, Mom, I cleaned my room. And she said, yeah, you did. Just keep it up. Looks great. So we have taken a problem and we have solved that problem. Now, for instance, say an artist wanted to make a piece of art about a pencil. I don't know why. Maybe they just like the idea of a pencil. They like thinking about a pencil. They say, well, the first time I ever made art, it was with a pencil. I really love pencils. I love drawing. It reminds me of being a kid. What can an artist make about a pencil? First off, they could draw a pencil. This is a still life of a daily doodle we did in the first quarter where we literally drew a pencil. Maybe, like artist Tom Friedman did here, they could take a pencil and cut it at 45-degree angles and glue it to other pieces of pencils. So Tom Friedman is an artist. He went to Washington University in St. Louis. He now teaches at the Yale University of Art and shows his artwork in New York City and all over the world. So this is literally little sections of pencil that he's cut at a 45-degree angle, and then he has glued them together. So it's one starting point, and then they connect, and they continue spiraling outward. So if we took it all apart, it would look like just a giant line of a single pencil interconnected into itself. Here's another piece by Tom Friedman. It's just a collection of pencils holding itself up. Maybe, like the artist Claes Oldenburg does, we just like the idea of a pencil and we say, I really like pencils. What if we made them really big? And that's what Claes Oldenburg does. He just takes everyday items like cool basketball. What if we made it really big? Or cool electrical extension cord. What if we made it really big? The extension cord is what is outside of the art museum in Forest Park. He has a giant Claes Oldenburg extension cord. It's 6 or 8 feet tall. What if we took the pencil and we said, what if I want to create with the pencil? So this is an artist that actually took the pencil lead here. That's what this is. And he actually carved out of the pencil lead a chain link. So next we are going to look at an artist that actually does that kind of work. So this is an artist that is literally taking an X-Acto knife, beginning to carve down his pencil. Then he also has a very sharp needle to scratch into it. That is simply a file to file it down flat. He's using a microscope to see because it's very teeny tiny small. And he is making a sculpture of Doodle Bob, which I guess is from SpongeBob SquarePants. Apparently somebody throws a pencil into the ocean and SpongeBob draws himself a friend. I don't know. The details are unimportant, but basically we just want to watch this artist sculpt on a very teeny tiny small scale. And there we have it. Doodle Bob out of a pencil. Or maybe like artist Tara Donovan, we take sections of pencil and cut them at different varying heights. This is an installation art. So installation art means it takes various forms depending on where it is installed. This is the floor of a museum. We have all these pencils that are connected together, and they are all different heights. It gives an idea or an impression of like a topical map, makes us think about elevation. Somebody said it looked like a spill, which means it has a very organic form. It's not very geometric and sharp like the artwork of Tom Friedman. It is just kind of flowing, and it's taking the idea of the pencil, the varying heights, and the way that they are a specific shape that interlocks together, and playing alongside that. Here's a quick 4-minute interview with Tara Donovan. She uses all types of different materials. So she uses mylar and monofilament and standard needles and pins, toothpicks. In this, I think there's some auto glass or the safety glass that doesn't shatter completely. When it shatters, it stays in a similar form. And she is an artist currently working today.
It's not that there's anything specifically special about everyday materials, but I was initially drawn to them because they were easily accessible, inexpensive, and mass-produced. I work to a point that the material transcends itself, and it creates a gestalt of sorts. I'm generally drawn to materials that have a low profile in the sense that they don't have a very identifying color or marking on them. I'm initially drawn to translucent or light reflective material. What happens with the light and the interaction between the material and the light is partially what activates the sculpture. I mean, they're all very activated by the movement of your body. I think inspiration is a joke. I think real artists sit down and get to work. Do people think that it just kind of comes from the sky and hits me? I work very much like a scientist or architect in the studio. I sort of clean everything up, isolate the material, and then perform experiments with it. It's a very playful act. I never make drawings or sketches. I feel very much as though the sculptures are a bit like drawings themselves. The pieces can expand and compress given the architectural particulars of each location. So they're very flexible and malleable in that way. I don't really think of them as decorative. I think that there's something magical that happens in the work that happens for me in the studio and then hopefully happens for the viewer the first time they see the work. I think art is different for everyone. It's different for every viewer and it's different for every artist. My intention in my work and my investigation and curiosity is really based on providing a challenge for myself to figure out what I can make things do and what I can discover, and simply relying on the nature of something, the physical peculiarity or particularness of any given thing. I'm not trying to make comments on mass-produced items or the environment or nature per se. I feel like my work, in a sense, it's mimicking the ways of nature, not necessarily mimicking nature. There's a reason most of the works are untitled. I got to a point where I felt like titling them could pigeonhole them into a very specific idea, and that it's not at all what my intent is. I want people feel what they feel and experience what they experience from their life.
All right. So that was someone that gives herself limitations of using a specific material. She wants to use ready-made material. It doesn't have to be pencils. Artists don't have to be giving themselves the restriction of working for a pencil. I was just using that as an example. Maybe it's someone that only makes artwork related to circles. So this is a online blog that was made where somebody was looking at all the different kinds of circle art. Your people are dancing around in a circle in a Henry Matisse painting. Or it could be a performative piece where this artist Helmut Smits had people go in a roundabout. So a series of motorcycles all going the same speed in a circle. Or a couple of trucks going the same speed around a circle. Or cars going in a circle in a vacant lot, kind of like a carousel. I think this was a performative piece where people actually waited in line and rode in a carousel of cars. Or sweeping, or really anything in a circle. Here we have blue shopping bags in a circle. Down here we have a piece of art by an artist named Milton Stevenson. That's me. And it is Target shopping carts placed into a circle. So I used to make a lot of artwork when I was younger out of everyday materials. And it was often minimalist in form. So kind of like Tom Friedman, a lot of cubes, circles, squares. I wanted to make a circle of shopping carts that were kind of like a urban crop circle. But then when I started thinking about it, I said, I want to make shopping carts from Target into a circle because the red shopping cart in the Target logo is a red circle. So I went to Target and started taking all the shopping carts in the parking lot and pushing them together. And about 10 minutes later, security and the store manager came out and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm making some art." And they were like, "You can't do that here." And I had thought about this a little bit beforehand, and I did a little bit of research about Target. So I said to them, actually, I talked to some people in Minneapolis because I found out Minneapolis was where Target was based out of. And people at corporate in Minneapolis, they said, I could use these shopping carts as long as I didn't reflect the brand in a negative light and I didn't damage anything. And the store manager looked at the security guard and they kind of shrugged their shoulders like, I don't know, whatever. They looked back at me and then they said, "Well, how long are you going to be here for?" And I said, 30 minutes, not much longer. I'm almost done. And they kind of shrugged their shoulders and walked away. So that is how I made this piece on a Target parking lot. I kind of had free reign, so I spent 20, 30 more minutes shoving all the shopping carts into a long line and trying to compact and impact themselves into each other to make a circle. And I took a photograph and presented it as a edition of photographs in an art show. And that's that. So it doesn't have to be pencils. It could be circles. Now, the problem I am presenting you guys with. Turn letters of the alphabet into faces. So what do we need to think about with this problem? What is step one? We need to think about the problem and what it is asking. And then step two is be able to recite the problem concisely. Step one, try to understand the problem. These are letters. How can we turn each of these letters into a face? You can see there's an A, a B, a C, a D, etc., etc. J down here. So first, understand that problem. Presented problem is turn the letters of the alphabet into faces. We have a clear definition of what an alphabet is, what a letter is. The next thing we need to establish is what is a face? What does a face have? We have to define the parts of our problem or define the parts of our assignment. If you are tasked with writing a book report, we have to say, okay, what is the book report about? What book is it about? And what form or what defines a report? So we need to find out from our teacher, what exactly do you want as a report? Is it multiple pages? Like, give us more parameters. If we already know what a face is, or if we already know what a letter is, we have to define face. What does a face need to have in our experience? So a face has eyes, nose. A face has a mouth, ears. Maybe there's only one ear when you draw it out, but people have ears. It has a chin, hair, top of head, etc. So if we want to be able to concisely restate the problem that's given to us, we could clearly sum it up as using the shapes of each letter of the alphabet, add lines representing eyes, ear, mouth, nose, chin, and top of head. Third, come up with possible solutions to the problem. Develop your solutions to the problem. So we have the letter U here, some examples. Maybe the U could be a chin or a nose or a mouth or the eyes. Maybe the U could be an ear with an earring. Fourth, actually do the work. Come up with your draft, use all of the letters, and turn them all into a face. Fifth, this is the part of the project where we would talk to each other if we were going further and say, what worked best? What could be improved? So you could ask your teacher, you could say, which one of these eyes do you like? Or you could talk to your classmates about it, and then we make it better. In this scenario, I'm not necessarily saying this is correct, but they look at all these different things, they discuss it. Maybe they say, I really like the U that looks like a nose, but I really also like the earring. Maybe we turn it into a guy with a nose ring. So we take aspects of a project we like, we combine them, and we turn it into something we believe is the better or best answer to the question. In review, we empathize, we begin to understand the problem. Then number 2, we clearly articulate the problem, keeping in mind the aspects of the problem we need to answer, the aspects of the problem that we have begun to understand. Third, we come up with possible solutions to these clearly defined problems. Fourth, we design a rough draft or a prototype. In art, it might take the form of a sketch or an early painting. And then fifth, we reiterate. We engage in a continuous short cycle innovation, which means we come back, we look at this, we look at how is it helping us with the problem that we have given ourselves or has been assigned to us. We think about the definition of the problem in terms of how is this answering it well. And then we continue to work through. Understand, clearly state the problem, come up with solutions, try the solutions, ask ourselves, is this working? What can we change? Change things, go back. And it is a continuous process. We did not design a cellular phone and decide that the Nokia candy bar looking phone was the best thing. We continue to innovate and improve and make it better. This design process, as we have talked about, helps come up with ideal solutions to problems and assignments in art class, in your other classes, and even in life outside of school. So, I need you guys to take all 26 letters of the alphabet and turn them into faces. Do not just copy the ones that I've done for you. It's just simply used as ideas. Have fun. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Take a picture, send it in. It is for a grade. Bye, guys.